Hello, I'm Darryl Howerton, and welcome to Women's Sports Cards, episode number 56. This one is titled, My 30 for 30 Dream On Cards. That's right, I'm naming this episode after the ESPN documentary that aired on, what's today? Wednesday. It was a great one. It was a three-parter, and I highly recommend you watch it when they replay it Saturday and thereafter. It's on the USA basketball women's team from 1996 that was historic in so many ways. It's a great documentary. Everybody should watch it, especially basketball fans out there. I thought I would talk about some of those cards for people interested in collecting women's sports cards from that era in the 1990s. Starting with my collection, but first a little history on my own self. I came up playing basketball in the Clovis West Steve Cleveland system, playing in the 7th and 8th grade teams, the freshman JV teams, and throughout all of that, I became a big fan of girls basketball back when Clovis West was coached by Jose Hernandez. And I had a neighbor who was a good player on the team, Susan Dubrow, another friend, Ruth Lewanson, teammates. She ended up becoming one of the best athletes in California of that time, maybe of that decade. A track star, a volleyball star. She later went on to play on the USA women's volleyball team. She led Fresno State volleyball to a Elite 8 NCAA finish. She's an All-American, and she also was a great basketball player. And then there were so many others after that. And while I was playing ball, Tammy Gibson, Joan Pius, Pam Clarkson, Nancy Comstock, the list goes on. So when I went to Fresno State afterwards, working in the sports information department, I worked closely with the women's basketball team there and became good friends with Bob Spencer, who was a legendary pioneer of women's basketball coaching going way back to the 60s, 70s, earlier than that. And then you had Bill Finley, his assistant, who became a legend at Iowa State thereafter. And the players they had there were all Americans in the 1980s, from Wendy Martell to Shannon McGee to Yvette Roberts, Simone Schrubeck. So anyway, by the time I got to Sport Magazine in the 1990s and started covering basketball and other sports, I was hooked on women's basketball at that point. And that's when the USA basketball first came on the scene. And my editor, Cam Benty, assigned me to do stories on that, which at the time was very new because women's sports wasn't really covered in national sports magazines as much. I would even do stories on the WNBA. And so that's where my history goes back to becoming fans of these women. And so I actually going to go through some cards right now just to show you what the rookie cards look like, what to find, and how I've got some graded and whatnot. But I guess we can start off with this Lisa Leslie card right here. This is her 1997 Pinnacle rookie card. I'm actually selling this on eBay right now, if you're interested. Full transparency. But these cards, as perfect 10s gem mint cards would probably go for $200 or so. Nines like this go for around the $50 range, which is where I'm selling it. And these are her WNBA cards. They're pro cards. Most people consider these the best rookie cards to get. So if you're looking to get, cards from the USA basketball team of Lisa Leslie and others, that's probably a good place to start. Here's the Cheryl Swoops card. I actually had graded one before, but it's sold, so I have to send this one off to get graded now. Here's my Nikki Mcrae card. She was my favorite player from that team. I actually did a feature story on her for Sport Magazine. The previous cards I showed you of Lisa and Cheryl were from the 1997 Pinnacle set. It was the first WNBA set, obviously, because that was the first WNBA year. Nikki's rookie card comes from 1998 Pinnacle because she actually played in the ABL in 1997, a competing league where she was the MVP and led the Columbus Quest to a ABL championship. Then she went to the WNBA and won. She actually made 3 All-Star teams there, so she excelled in both. That's kind of what it was like then. I don't have another person I have here in my collection is Ruthie Bolton. I don't have her card from that, but I do have her rookie cards from other selections. And these other selections I'll show you right now. Some people consider, as I do, Sports Illustrated kids cards, the rookie cards to collect. And if that's you, this is the 1994 Sports Illustrated kids card of Lisa Leslie and the 1995 Nikki Mcrae card. Now, they did have a Topps card in 1995 in the case of Nikki Mcrae, and Upper Deck in the case of Lisa Leslie, where they're wearing USA basketball uniforms. So that's another option to collect, but these also qualify as rookie cards. And Cheryl Swoops and Ruthie Bolton have theirs as well. I just don't happen to have them. But like I said, when it comes to the 1994 Upper Deck cards, I have a few Lisa Leslies here and a Cheryl Swoops. These are their 1994 Upper Decks. Again, USA Basketball, I consider those rookie cards because remember, Mia Hamm's 1992 Sports Illustrated Kids card that sold for a then record $34,000. She's wearing a USA soccer uniform. So if people consider those type of cards rookie cards, which I do, then you've got to also consider these. I mean, it might be preferable to have the 1997 Pinnacle in the case of these two women, but these 1994 Upper Deck USA Basketball cards did come out first. So there you go. And they are being treated as professionals when they're playing for USA. So keep that in mind. As far as that same train of thought, I have a couple of Nikki Mcrae cards of that same ilk. That 1995 Topps card of Nikki Mcrae's that I was talking about is here. And here is Ruthie Bolton's rookie card, 1995 Topps, where she has that there. So, like I said, there's a lot of rookie card selection to go for. I like to break them up as pro rookie cards, college rookie cards, true rookie cards, and whatnot. And in some cases, I call them bonus rookie cards, where this Nikki Mcrae card also came out in 1995 Topps, but it's a profiles card. It's a little bit different than the base card, so I call this the bonus rookie card. Still came out her first year, her first card, but I consider this other card over here her base rookie card. So that's the one I would prefer to have, but I collect these two just because I'm a Nikki Mcrae fan. If we jump over, there's also, Pinnacle also had a bunch of selection of cards if you want to do that same insert type thing with the pro rookie cards. Ruthie Bolton in Sacramento, Nikki Mcrae in Washington Mystics. Again, this is different than her base card, but they're both 1998 Pinnacle cards. Her first pro cards and pro uniforms. So there you go. And that's a bonus. Goodbye. I'm going to show two more cards. These have nothing to do with rookie cards, but they are nice honors. They are nice cards to collect because there's only 333 of these cards made. And I have numbers 128 of both Cheryl Swoops and Lisa Leslie honorary cards when they made the WNBA All-Decade team. So that's a nice card to have right here. It's WNBA cards, 10-year anniversary. And these two became all-time greats coming from the USA basketball team in 1996. Again, I highly recommend you watch that documentary. It's called 30 for 30 Dream On. That's all I got for now. Hope you enjoyed USA basketball women's team 1996.